We combined pineapple and habanero and made a mead a year ago. Well, how is it now?
First off, it's purty.
First off, it's 18.3% and 1.034 final gravity, which makes it reasonably sweet.
There are ever so slightly little tiny particulates floating around in there.
They won't hurt you.
It is not to the point that it's cloudy. It's actually really clear. It is so clear that you can actually see the little tiny particulates.
Yeah, it is crystal clear, actually.
And that was the thing that annoyed Brian, because there was some fallout, which is a natural process in naturally fermented beverages. So let's not get too excited about it.
And that is actually why bottles are shaped the way they are,
Yeah.
is so that when you pour, it'll actually like catch that stuff. So it's been happening for a long time. Anyway,
aroma.
On the smell, there's a little bit of spice, the capsicum, some pineapple, like cooked pineapple.
I wasn't really thinking about it. I'm like, oh, this is what we're gonna do. Okay. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, this. And then I smelled it, and I'm like, oh, that's right. This is my recipe.
This is one that I've been drinking lately too.
This is the one.
I haven't had it in a couple weeks, but
Yay!
I think this is the last bottle.
Oh, see, I was all excited. Now I'm sad again.
But there's still this much left. Could be worse. There could be none.
Oh, see, that could go really well with tonight too.
Yep.
Oh, now I have to decide.
Yep. We're having Mexican food. Well, Southwest food.
Stuffed poblanos.
Yeah. That's more or less Southwest. Anyway, going in. Well, on the smell. Let's talk about the smell. I do get the capsicum, the chili.
Capsicum is stronger on the sensory of smell.
Yep.
But you do get some of the honey and pineapple sneaking in there after you.
There's some floral, the sweet tart thing with the pineapple.
Yep. Yep. Plus,
on the
I'm
smell,
getting
it's
some
actually
of the
lovely.
cooked notes that you were talking about.
On the smell, it's lovely. I'm going in.
All right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Wow, that's really good. It's got some kick from the heat, but it's mostly on the back. It's not in the forefront. In the forefront, I get honey and pineapple, just a little bit of the fruitiness of the pepper.
It's funny, it's hotter than I anticipated it would be.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
This would be one of those things that I could easily pair with chips and salsa, which any excuse for me to eat chips and salsa.
Make you eat a lot of chips and salsa.
Is a good thing. But I would consume way too much of this and way too much of the chips and salsa, which eventually would be a bad thing, but in the process of would be a delightful thing.
It's amazing how the pineapple's coming through more cooked than I remember.
Yeah.
It definitely has like that pineapple upside down cake pineapple, kind of like pineapple and brown sugar.
Do we use fresh pineapple, frozen pineapple cake?
I don't know. We did this a year ago. We don't check on purpose. Hey. But you know what? I can show you right now what we thought of it a year ago.
First sensation I get is honey.
Yep.
And not just the flavor, but the sensation of I'm drinking some honey. It's got a nice coating.
Honey and caramel pineapple.
Yeah.
That's what I get, like that.
And then it just
brown sugar pineapple thing. 1, 2, 3, 9.5. And now we're back. We don't know what we said.
But you do.
Yep.
And that's what's important.
Because you're time travelers.
We're just stuck here in the here and now.
Yep.
Oh, this is good. It doesn't really matter how
I really like this. I mean, this is my kind of thing. So I am a fan of the spiced and capsicum. Mm-hmm. That's coming out more and more. I used to think I was a fruit mead guy. Not so much.
Nope. You like the spices and you like the spicy.
Yep.
It was funny. Recently, you were like, "Oh, we can do it. This capsicum and that capsicum and that." And I'm just like, settle down. We'll get to them.
I have minor reservations with this. Now, I've been drinking this, but I've been putting it on ice. And I think that has been advantageous because this is 18% and significantly spicy enough that it, as is, has an infinitesimally small amount of objectionability. I'm finding it a little, just marginally objectionable as is.
Due to its
When I had it on ice, it was unbelievably good.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of meld my score of when I had it on ice and this. This is very, very good. Please don't anybody take that wrong. You have to understand, when we do tastings like this, we are looking, digging for any little flaw, any nuance that we can tell you about.
What's wrong with you?
That's what we're doing. So me saying that does not mean this is horrible. Not at all. I'll sit here and drink it like this all day long. But it's infinitesimally tiny amount objectionable compared to what it was iced. In other words, I like it iced better. No, I'm not going to go put it on ice and taste it right now because that's not fair. We're trying to pit them against each other. Now, I am a firm believer in drink what you want the way you want to drink it. I don't have any issue if somebody puts this on ice, if they use it as a mixer, if they blend it into a smoothie. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. If you enjoy it, you're not doing it wrong, as long as nobody gets sick or hurt.
Right.
So, to me, I would prefer this iced, but your mileage may vary. And now that I can step off my soapbox now and continue.
All right. Well, are you ready for numbers? Should we just jump into numbers?
No, I kind of want to describe what I was talking about.
Do you want to do a trip?
I haven't done a trip in a while.
You haven't.
All right. Let me take you on a little trip. Let me have a sip first. Okay. Immediately upon entering the mouth, I get the honey mixed with the almost like a brown sugar cooked pineapple. Right off the bat, that's the first thing I get.
Absolutely.
And as that starts to travel through, the sweetness actually comes a little more apparent, and then the heat starts seeping in.
It does.
It's not bad, but it does get a little bit harsher towards like the 3/4 of the palate, and that capsaicin hit starts to become, that's where the objectionable part comes in.
I feel like it's similar to like a bourbon reaction where you're just kind of, oh, it hurts so good kind of thing.
I do not ever have that reaction to bourbon.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about, though.
But on this, I think that at the 3/4 palate where the capsaicin comes in a little harsher than I would like. And here's my projection as to why that happens. This is 18% alcohol. Alcohol and capsaicin enhance each other. So when the sweetness starts to wear off and that capsaicin comes in with the alcohol, it's just spreading it all over your mouth,
And
making it a little bit harsher.
When I was researching how to clean stuff after making a capsicum, because of the oils in the capsaicin, they kind of just stick and stay there. And so if you're going to...
more?
No, I'm good. If you want to ferment more in that's not a capsicum, then you want to make sure that you clean it thoroughly. And one of the things was that if you used a high-proof neutral spirit, like Everclear or whatever, that's going to help disperse
sort of disperse it, which is exactly what it's doing in my mouth.
What it's doing in your mouth, which is what Brian is saying, is that it's not isolating it, it is coating every surface coming into contact, because that alcohol is just saying, run, be free.
Which, if you really like spicy things that do that, you'll love this, okay? I'm just saying, it's a little bit much for me. Now remember, if you saw our lava mead video, the lava mead is way, way more spicy than this. And I like that. So to me, it's more the balancing act that's going on here that I think the spiciness sort of overtakes the pineapple sweetness and the honey towards the end of the palate. On the exhale, all I get is the dragon breath from heat.
Yeah.
I'd like to get more of the honey and the pineapple.
My nose is starting to run, so.
Right. And I think, I'm not saying we messed up, because I don't think we did. I think this is still excellent.
Yeah.
But that's just a fine tune that we couldn't have perceived at the time. We could not have known. Because here's what happens. Capsaicin doesn't actually mellow over time.
No.
Everything else does.
Yes.
So all the rest of it mellowed around that capsaicin that was probably really good way back when, that now the balance is slightly off. So if we were to do something like this again, we need to overcompensate everything else to keep that capsaicin back in check.
I don't know.
That makes sense?
If I were to do an adjustment on this recipe at all based on your synopsis, would be
less capsaicin.
Less habanero.
Yeah. Which I think we used like 1.5 habaneros.
So just
it was
one.
Minimal.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it needs to be adjusted dramatically.
No. And please don't ever take what we're saying as bad. It's just we have to find flaws.
Sure.
This is what we talk about. If all we do is sit here and go, this is great, this is awesome, this is so good, you should make this.
Then you're going to be like, you guys are
We're
full of
crap, you know? I don't like being like that. I'd much rather tell you, here's what's wrong, here's what might be corrected, here's something you can learn along the way. Because, you know, somebody made a comment today on one of our videos. They said, you guys have mastered the art of balance. And I said, well, it's a lifelong pursuit.
We're continuing
When
that
you
goal.
think you know something, what happens is as you learn, you realize all the things that go into that thing that you're learning, and you realize how much you didn't know about what you thought you knew.
Yeah.
And that's where lifelong learning really comes in. And that's what I'm talking about here is, you know, we enjoyed making this. We learned a lot while we made it. And now we're learning more about it a year later. And if we ever make this again, we can go at that with that knowledge. And undoubtedly, a year later, I'm going to go, well, you know, if we did this. And that's the beauty of a hobby like this, is that you never stop learning.
Or you can make it exactly the way we did and just put it on ice.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, there's that too. Although, it makes me wonder, like, if it was made that way and I put it on ice, would it be even more enjoyable?
I don't know.
And see, that's something you don't know. Until now, you never even thought about it, but now it's something you don't know that you don't want to know. Welcome to my brain. This is what goes on 24/7.
We still haven't done numbers.
No,
though.
we have not done
Okay,
numbers yet.
all right.
I'm still considering mine.
Oh.
As you drink more of it, you start to not care anymore.
Yep.
Because it is
That
18%.
18% just kind of gets in there and says, hey, time for chips and salsa.
Yeah. I have a number. I thought it was going to be different, but I have a number.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3, 9.
9.5.
I was bouncing between 9 and 9.5. I was even considering 10.
I was considering 10 too. This is really good.
I'm getting harsher with my numbers
You are getting harsh.
because this is one of my favorite things we've made.
He loves this.
But I'm standing firm by what I said. Because we do test everything at room temperature. Compared to other things at room temperature, this is a 9. On ice, this is about a 27. It does change it that much.
It's lovely.
If I could reach the ice cubes right now that are behind all the stuff that
So
we
much
set up
stuff.
to film, I would put this on ice just so that I could really see for myself the difference. Because I remember several weeks ago, I spent an afternoon drinking a bottle of this.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was so, like, I went looking for more because it was just that good.
I can appreciate the critique we gave on this, but honestly, if I were to make this again, I would make it exactly the way we did. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Like, if it was really 1.5, maybe I'd be okay with just doing
Yeah,
one.
75% of the habanero, and I think this would be 2.
But
But they're biological products too, so you won't necessarily be able to gauge it.
Yes.
That's part of the problem when you work with stuff like that.
Right.
You could make it exactly the same next time, and it might be perfect. You could make it exactly the same next time, it might be stronger.
And that's why when they give the Scoville units of chilies, it's always a range.
Yeah.
Because there's not one number.
Yeah, that's true. I
for
never really
each
thought about it that
chili.
way.
Yep.
But suffice to say, she gave it a 10, I gave it a 9. It's a 9.5. I mean, come on.
I thought I gave it 9.5.
Oh.
Did I give it?
She gave it a 9.5. I gave it a 9. It's a 9.25.
I bounced around in my numbers in my head, so don't
We both considered 10 is what it was.
look at the tape.
But it's a 9.25 with considerations of 2 10s. So that says something, right?
So if you like spicy stuff that's fruity, make this.
Yep. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.